let's go ahead and start with a recap then. Does someone want to do a quick one? It shouldn't be too long.
So we started with me and Craigux doing our very good spy work.
Yeah, he did spy work.
Definitely good spy work.
Definitely couldn't have just avoided all of the problems by teleporting.
Look, we wanted to be invisible spies. Anyway, so we did that. And, we found out that the Duke was already preparing for civil war. It wasn't much interesting in his office. We made our way into the priestman's office, and that dude had some shit going on.
Yeah.
We killed his quasi demon friends, and then we got out of there. Made it look like somebody stole from the Duke, and then we spent a day kind of fucking around. And the day after that, we met with the Duke, and I'm pretty sure arranged on purpose to have the wives of Tusano's victims be in the room.
Why would he do that on purpose? That was totally just a coincidence.
Oh, it was the most spontaneous thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
Oh, not coincidental.
No, not at all. And then while we were talking with him about, low chance for an alliance between him and the other guy, one of his advisors burst in and was like, "Oh, by the way, dudes, the king's dead." And he was like, "You guys should leave." So we left. On our way out of the city, we got ambushed by the Thieves Guild members that one of the victims belonged to. Yeah. And they tried to tell us to leave Tusano behind, and we were like, "We're not about it." And so we murdered them. Well, it's not really murder, but we did kill them.
You defended yourself against their attack. Yeah, they literally just we murdered them. They literally just ambushed you guys in the streets. One of them threw a flask of oil basically at like a Molotov at
yeah, I mean, I'm not saying they didn't deserve it.
Yeah.
I don't think you make a Molotov with oil.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
No one ever said they were smart.
Alchemist fire.
That's where we ended.
Yeah, and we ended with you guys leaving the city. So, what was the plan from here? Was it to go back to the shrine, right?
Yeah.
To be honest, I think we were discussing the plan, and then we got jumped in the streets on the way out of the door.
Okay. Well, so why don't we? That'd actually be good then for you guys for your characters to discuss it. So let's pick up just as you guys are riding out of the city. I'm assuming you probably want to just get some space.
Oh yeah.
So,
and we're level 8 now. That's kind of important.
Yes. Yeah, you did level up. Yeah. So, so you guys, we'll pick up though. When you guys are a little way outside of the city, probably collecting yourselves after the attack, because you want to just get out of there afterwards. So, but so we can resume there if you guys would like.
All right.
Actually, probably. So I guess if you guys were all just going to kind of start heading towards that direction, Darwin might actually ask you guys in particular where you were heading.
I don't know. Did Anna want to field that question? So that's her little friend.
Yeah.
Where are we actually going?
That's what he's asking. Darwin's like,
we're just still heading directionless. Well, okay. I need to look at the right map so I can actually think about this. Either we should head to Wenswell to meet. The fact that this guy has two names that he goes by makes it so I can't remember either of them.
Sigrid and Berdamon.
Yeah. Either we need to find the Sigrid, or we need to go and attempt to persuade the guardians of that temple or shrine or whatever it is in the woods that they're in danger.
Okay, so we're at Averton. We just left. Alright. Well, it's going to be a long walk to Winswell no matter what. Obviously, it'll be longer if we divert back to Mirthfield. But...
Miles, you gave that tree one of those stones, right?
Yes, I gave the tree a sending stone. That is correct.
At the very least, I guess you could warn him that they have active plans on returning soon.
Who does?
The cult.
Yeah, we
I
found some
already
letter. I
mentioned
can't
this. Oh,
remember
yeah.
the exact wording, but
Yeah, you guys went over all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
do we have the particular note that we read about,
Uh,
or was it something we heard?
you guys
No,
have
it's
it.
a note.
It's a note you have.
Yeah.
It was the
It was
letter to
from
Feodor.
Fyodor.
This one,
Yeah.
to Feodor from Ardvin.
If we go that direction, we can stop by Fellington and let the Duke know what we've learned in greater detail. Obviously, Anna told the wizard that the king was dead, but there's some other stuff that we could probably discuss on our way to Winswell.
I would prefer to go to Fellington and drop off whatever information we have.
All right.
How much did we discuss the wife before this?
The
The princess?
Miles told us everything that happened in this conversation.
Correct.
Hmm. Do you think she's in danger here?
Could be.
Almost. She'll probably, at the very least, be a hostage.
She has a sending stone.
You said she told you she wanted to go on adventures. Well, this would be her opportunity.
She did say something about having heard about the cleric and the shadows, and what we
Yes.
found under his house definitely lines up with that.
Mm-hmm. Should we try to go back for her?
Should we?
Should we? We need a man of action in this party.
Or we need to say should we?
I guess so. Darwin. So Darwin, I'm trying to think about what Darwin and Alejandro would
If
say.
anybody looks at me, I'm just going to shrug.
So
No, we're just
Alejandro,
supposed to continue that.
Alejandro kind of like looks to, Alejandro will look to Nox and say, "You are now, my lady, a member of the nobility. What do you think?"
Well, if she's in our custody, she's. Now, I'm not an expert, so okay, hold on, out of character. Do we know? Does anyone know, except for Anna and Miles, that those two are nobles?
As in that we are nobles?
Yeah.
That Anna and Miles are nobles.
Does
anyone
Darwin
else in the
even?
party know that?
I don't even think Darwin
No.
does.
Not really.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
We both know that we each other are nobles.
Right.
Yeah.
I know that much, but that's not
So
helpful for the rest of us. Okay.
I also know how I know the proper use for each utensil.
Right. Of course.
Yeah, I don't know how you attributed Anna knowing so much about nobility, other than just like maybe I've had work before. Since I only ever really showed it recently when I had to be your crier, basically.
Yeah.
Other than that, I've just been like well informed about
Right.
things.
So, hold on. So I just needed to think about how Nox what Nox would and wouldn't say based on what she doesn't actually know. So the crown prince is dead, and there were no other heirs, which means that the only child left of the king is his daughter, who is pregnant with this duke's child,
Correct.
which
You know-
puts him, I think, in some sort of position to try to seize the throne.
You know, that's a good
Correct.
question. What does Anna know about
Yeah.
like the noble structure?
So-
Is it possible that the wife could be like a queen regent or anything
So I
like
was
that?
just gonna actually say, I was gonna butt in after you guys were done for a second, and say that you should, I think I'm gonna have just the two noble people of birth roll a history check to see what you know about what would happen in a situation like this in the noble structure.
19.
Because it would, because this is going to rely on knowledge from the past, near past, like the past 50 years, but still. So, Drake, you actually do know that there is the king. He doesn't have any living brothers or anything like that either. But the king does actually have a living cousin. They're not from like the same family, like it's a matrilineal relation, but still, the king does have a cousin, a first cousin that is the Duke of Norland. So he would also be eligible, and you know this. But his daughter could also be, used to press a claim.
Aside from the Duke of Ava's wife being used as a pawn to claim the throne, the Duke of Norland is the first cousin of the king from what I can remember, and he might have some claim as well.
Alright.
What is the... Do you know the Duke of Norland's position toward the Duke of Aberton?
You would
Do I?
You would definitely know that, being from Durndale, which is under Norland. It affects you. That type of politics affects you. You would know that they are not too friendly, especially because in the past they have sort of both been vying for more power underneath the king.
They're largely considered rivals, both vying for the high throne.
If we could get the princess and either deliver her into the custody of the Duke of Fellington or the Duke of Norland, we could possibly stop House Ava from taking the throne by giving it to the king's cousin. Which would be helpful for us because, well, it would be helpful for me anyway, as someone who lives in the Duchy of Felling. Especially if the Duke is actually involved in the cult activity that his advisor is, then allowing them to come to power as the king just seems pretty problematic.
Seems like at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if there wasn't the next king. The country might fracture at this point.
I gave her a sending stone before I left her room. I could ask her if she wants us to take her out of there.
That's the thing we forgot to... You had said at the end of last session that you were going to contact her, like ask her if she was okay. I think that's the thing. I think at the end of last stream you were like, I'm gonna, beginning of next session, contact her. Anyways, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter at this point, but I just remembered.
Oh.
If we are going to contemplate kidnapping a pregnant woman, I would rather she want us to take her.
It would certainly make it easier.
The thing is, I don't know how we would get in there and get out. Especially not being seen.
I look at
I just look at Miles.
I follow your look and look to Anna. I suppose she can turn invisible, but it's still going to be problematic.
Not wrong.
Have we done anything since we've met that hasn't been problematic?
I'm going to think about it for a moment. Buying Instay is proven rather uneventful, for the most part.
Honestly, at this point, whether we get her out of there or not, I don't see how we're going to make the situation for the Lord of Felling any worse.
I completely agree on that front. Based on the conversation we overheard, Duke Ava's study about trying to ally with Winslow, I don't imagine he's just going to sit by and let the one who killed his father just get away with that.
Also, I would prefer to not work with Norland, if at all possible. Having Striker in my possession makes me a bit of a hot target.
Yes, why did you steal that from them anyway?
Ha ha. Very funny.
I like that the halfling wouldn't know anything about this. And we're just openly talking about this.
Yeah, he's probably he has not. Again, he's not super interested in politics.
Well, this is a legendary weapon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
That was stolen
It's
from...
it's beyond politics.
Yeah.
Of course, he got kidnapped before it disappeared, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Roughly around the same time, at the very least. So I guess he wouldn't know it disappeared, but he'd probably know of it.
Yeah, he definitely would know of it. I don't know if he would actually say anything though. He might just give you like an odd look, Anna.
If I notice, I'm just... Don't worry. A magical man who stole the souls of two of our friends gave it to us.
After we played a game with him.
And he just like kind of like looks at you and then slowly nods his head, like, oh, okay. Maybe doesn't question you beyond that.
And his dragon's a wife.
No, my wife.
I have heard that.
Yes. Woo! I've had a day. I've had a day. I've been wrestling cattle today.
Yeah.
Like literally.
Yeah. No, I believe you.
Well, if we're going to take this princess out of here, we're gonna have to do it. Well, we might as well do it while we're still in the area.
I will have to prepare first. I'm rather tapped out after our. Actually, I'm not. Am I? It's kind of iffy.
I mean, are we leveled
go
up
now?
or?
Yeah, if you guys are leveled up already, so you should be
Like
good.
I would definitely rather go in completely topped off,
But like, if we're considered leveled up, then you are.
Yeah.
Are we doing that rule where you completely?
That's what I was. That's what I would lean towards naturally. So yeah.
Basically, like you got a long rest.
Yeah.
All right. I was always under the assumption
It's
that I just
Skyrim
add whatever I got
rules.
from the level.
No, it's Skyrim rules.
Damn, we should.
You just
saved it.
you just pause in the middle of combat and yeah, no,
I
not
don't know.
like,
Why didn't we save this?
We were in a pretty good position to use that level up after last session.
But no, I'm just
Actually,
But no, I'm
mild
just teasing
too.
though. But no, I just after the end of last session, I thought that was a good breaking point, and so so you leveled up, yeah. So you're good.
And I guess like in the scheme of things, we haven't done much today, so
Yeah.
it's not too immersion breaking. It's one thing to level up in the middle of like
Yeah, a dungeon crawl.
combat that you're almost dead in. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess Anna would be all for it at that point.
Do you want me to call the princess?
Yes. Ask her if she would like to be saved from Averton.
Let's see, up to 25 words.
Yeah, I want you to
Yep.
type these out so I can actually like
Yeah.
think about them because this was gonna be tough for me to figure out what she's gonna say.
I both understand and hate the hard limitation that they put on that.
Yeah.
Since they can't exactly have the limit be seconds because
Yeah.
you get somebody that's been an auctioneer for the last decade, they'll just rattle off a book before the time limit.
Yeah. Like King's dead. Duke doesn't like us. Yeah, yeah.
Got it, you know?
I
Anyway,
gotta think about what the prince
Yeah.
is gonna say.
my knight, I don't want to risk your life.
oh god.
Your wife's gonna be pissed.
I guess.
She's gonna look at your messages. look at the log.
She's gonna look at your sending stone when you get home.
Yep.
And, oh, it's
So you
gonna
gotta
be
look at your sending
bad.
stone or go to the service provider. And should go to the
That's some
god.
next level shit. If you go to your spouse's service provider to look at their cell phone history,
Yeah.
Y'all need to step back.
Yeah, that's kind of a whole other level.
All right, that is the message I send.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think
I like
okay,
the picture
okay.
we stepped out of the gate and are just in front of the guards.
I'm assuming you guys had gone to like a little short distance away in like a patch of woods and just
Yeah, we're not that.
letting the horses graze.
I want to play an all low int game.
Just like all low in, like all mental stats really low, but
Low
all
wisdom,
physical
low int.
stats really high.
So just all barbarians and fighters.
16, 16, 16, 8, 8, 8.
Yeah.
No, 999. Because we're all humans.
Oh. Yeah.
Excuse me?
Uh-oh, that's part of it.
Excuse
And it
me.
also is supposed to say, I'll be safer here than most places. Hold on.
Well, that's the last time you can contact her on those rocks today.
No, it was a mistype. 5, 6.
You just hear gargling and choking. Swallowed her own spit accidentally when she's trying to reply. I know it's mental, but...
Alright, and there's the second part of that got cut off.
Now we wait for it to show up.
There it is.
I like how it said he stopped typing a good 5 to 10 seconds before it shows up.
So I can't
Huh?
reply.
Correct.
Yeah.
You can't.
But wait, for normal sending, do you just have to have, like, seen the person?
You have to be...
familiar.
Familiar.
Mm,
They do
okay.
not define what familiarity is.
Because I would say I'd probably allow Anna to... You guys met the princess in
Yeah.
the feasting hall,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I would say I would allow
I was
Anna
thinking
if you
about
want.
that.
Yeah, so
There's
I would totally
actually
allow that.
an interesting idea that the reason that the rings of mind shielding exist is because the sending spell would make it so that all monarchs were just constantly barraged by people casting sending to them.
That's actually hilarious.
That's
I had
so
not
good.
considered that.
Like, obviously, people that can cast sending aren't a dime a dozen, but they're still common enough that it could be all hours of the night.
That's so funny.
As soon as I get finished with this message, I will immediately turn to Anna and say, I need you to send another message to the princess.
Did she reject you?
No. She said she would be safer here than almost anywhere else, and she wants only the safety of her child. She's scared.
She thinks she's safe here. She hasn't been to my mountain fortress.
Let's see here.
Oh, that reminds me of something. Notes. Go to notes before I forget.
Also, that was 22 words, the message I sent.
Alright, I'm not gonna say that this is exactly what I'm sending, but I'd like... Anna would see if this gets the point across.
Give me a second.
Any amendments to that before I go ahead and send that to her?
Alright, let's see how many words that is first. How about at the end, you say, we can keep you and your child safe.
That fits? Okay.
Also, by the way, Jack,
That brings it up to 23 words.
Did you? I forget. Did you leave a sending stone in the fort and at your fort?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so. I was just like, did she buy one? No, it's you and Alejandro have one, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay. I was trying to.
All right, I'm fine. I'm fine with sending that out.
Okay.
That seems to be agreed upon.
cleric had demons in his basement.
Basically,
I mean, he did literally have demons. In
it was his basement. It was a little more complex than
They
that.
were
but-
literally demons too.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like, oh, I'm a neutral wizard and I have an imp. It was like, no, you have fucking a bunch of imps and some shadow demon.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we were never in his basement. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but,
That's another question about sending the spell at, like, sending stones. Are you just, like, aware of whoever's using it? Since anyone can grab the stone. And also, how does the
mean-
receiving of the message work?
presumably she would be familiar with who gave her the other
Yeah.
half to that pair, because he gave
Yeah,
it
but
to
what
her
if
in
Miles
prison.
died and someone took it off his
What
body
if Miles died?
in the last
Well, yeah,
48
what
hours?
if he just were to disappear?
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Alright, she says that.
She doesn't know.
And it kind of trails off. Mentally. Mental ellipses. ...
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the last word. Oh no, I had 3 words
Hello.
left. She says ...
The last 3 words.
Yeah.
Anna would pass along what she heard.
She didn't say no.
How many more casts of that do you have?
Correspondence.
Sending.
Yes.
The more I use that, the less likely it'll be that I can actually get her.
She sounds conflicted.
Well, wouldn't you be?
Of course, but I think she'd go with us if we went there, but wouldn't if we didn't. If that makes any sense.
If we do go to retrieve her, I would ask to borrow your bag of holding emptied.
What's in my bag of holding right now? I'm gonna take a look.
All that money and
Yeah.
paperwork still,
We
for
always
sure.
split that.
Yeah. So,
Do we want to do a little bookkeeping quicker?
alright.
While we
So-
can contemplate.
Gragox, you have this stuff.
Where am I looking?
Oh, the
Yeah.
D&D stuff.
D&D
Discord.
stuff.
Yeah.
Jack, you have this stuff.
So I had assumed we were just gonna split the money evenly. I already reflected.
I mean, I'm
that.
just giving you guys back what you gave me in my
Right.
room.
What's the even split? If we consider, are we doing?
I was just doing the 4 of us.
Okay.
Look, your barbarian is with us, but he didn't.
He's basically fulfilling a
Yeah.
like a
He's not
obligation
just. He's
as far as he's
basically.
concerned.
He might ask Anna to like pay for his food occasionally, but other than that, he's just like basically in service to her. For like.
He's basically
and-
waiting for his chance to jump on a grenade and hopefully survive, and then she'd be like, "Yep, we even, boy."
I do still have a sum of money and a tent in here.
Well, that'll definitely occupy a good amount of space.
Yes.
The reason I was
I don't-
asking is
I don't
Living-
have anywhere else to put it.
living creatures can go in there, but you need as much air as possible.
I'm familiar.
And if we do go together and she's less than willing, we might just want to take her to make sure that nothing bad happens.
Does anyone want to carry my tent?
I mean, you can just put it on a horse, can't you?
Oh yeah, we have horses. I forgot.
To be honest, if we go together, you might as well just put it on the horse and be ready to leave.
Yeah. I will put my tent on my horse, but not like setting up the tent on the horse because that would be weird and probably painful for the horse.
I'm picturing like the mini version of the elephant tents that you always see in movies.
See, I'm just imagining a normal tent, but like the tent pegs are like stuck into the horse.
Wow.
Damn, man.
So what's?
So
Well, yeah, I'll let you guys keep talking though.
and then for the rest of the stuff that was in that bag, so we split the money. So it was 50 gold to each. No, 25 gold to each of us and 50 platinum to each of us. And then there.
Oh
were
yeah, I
the-
already added that.
Right. Yeah. And there were the gems, but I don't remember what there were. And then the letters in the mat. So the only thing that I wanted other than that was the ruby necklace and the Duke's seal.
And
69 gold.
Did two take those arrows? Those fancy looking arrows?
She'd be
I
the
mean,
only one
yes.
interested.
Okay.
Quiver and arrows? Yeah, that should be the only one.
Yeah,
used
there were
for
10 arrows, by the way.
Okay.
Dude, when we stole the Duke's seal, why do we also steal wax for it?
I sold the wax because what if we needed to?
We're gonna forge letters right now.
The arrow.
And the arrows are very finely crafted, you know. And so is the quiver. Does not look like your
Alright.
average arrows.
So, tent is on horse. All my money is in my bags, and I will take off my bag of holding and give it to Anna.
Thank you.
Completely empty.
I imagine we should probably enter town completely invisible.
Can you do that
Of course.
for all of us?
Oh no, not all of us. Were we all trying to enter this town together again?
I mean, what if you get caught?
I'm more confident in getting in and out with less people.
I
Also-
will take off my cloak of the bat and give it to Anna and say, have the princess put this on before you leave. It won't do her any good magically, but it'll cover her clothes, make her less conspicuous.
Okay. Like, out of character? If you guys got any suggestions on how we would all go in.
I
I'm
do
all
not
ears.
want to go in.
Yeah, I have no idea. But
Like, I understand why we would all want to participate, but it's like bad idea. I cannot cast.
Miles-
I can only invisible 3 people.
You
Yeah,
should go
yeah,
this in alone. Maybe with 2, but probably not.
Well, Nox is useful because we the teleporting boys.
True. Nox maybe also, but I don't know that you guys can teleport.
you know, Nox can teleport. You've seen
Nox
it,
is
right?
also the muscle right now.
I mean, I know you can like Misty Step. That is teleport. Do I know that you can teleport more than that?
I don't think so.
Can I do an Arcana check to see if I know? On a character. Cloak is an attuned cloak, right?
It is.
Would I know that? Because it would literally be pointless for the princess to put it on. Because
No, I told you it wouldn't provide her any of the magical benefits. It's just to make her less conspicuous because it's covering her very, very nice clothes.
no, well, I guess at that point I probably just hand it back to you and like, don't worry, I have a cloak as well. Is a cloak of many fashions a attuned item?
No, I don't believe so.
I don't know.
That would be really stupid.
So it's
if it
even better
was.
because it can just instantly change.
I thought
how
it
it
might
looks.
be, but I'm not sure.
It's in
I'm like
Xanathars.
99% sure it's not.
I don't even. Oh yeah.
Cloak
Well, I don't have
of
Xanathar,
many fashions. Problem is, like, the Zanny's stuff is just, like, nowhere online
Yeah.
to look up quickly.
It is not attuned.
Okay, that's good.
So yeah, my cloak is much better for that. And I'd tell you as much. And I'd probably, for show, make it look like your cloak and go back to what it was.
I suppose that's fair.
So, how are we gonna go about this?
Invisible.
I would suggest being invisible for at least a large portion of it, yes.
I'll have my horse bring us within a safe distance and hide. And then we'll enter the town and attempt to enter the castle.
I'm going to get my horse to lay down, and then I'm going to lie against it.
Seems pretty reasonable.
It's the most reasonable thing she's done.
Well, we probably shouldn't leave 2 alone in case she gets attacked again.
Was Miles going with?
I would prefer to not go with. I can stay here with 2.
We can shove you in the bag. You might have to stick your head out every once in a while to breathe.
I think that kind of defeats the whole purpose of bringing the bag along for the princess.
Slightly.
It's big enough for a couple of people.
Yes, but the air inside will last half as long.
Oh god. True. Well, Nox, shall we get going?
I suppose.
Why does this... Every mission is a stealth mission now.
Yeah. Ooh, excuse me. So,
Just the new campaign.
so
We are Splinter Cell boys.
Yeah.
So is that so? Our character just outline the plan for your play. You're gonna go invisible a short distance from the wall.
Yeah, I guess Nox and Anna are going to sneak their way into the city and then get into the Duke's castle again.
Okay.
They'll never suspect a thing.
All right,
Yeah,
sounds
definitely.
good.
Everyone else will stay
Yeah.
with
Ready to fucking
yeah.
cheese it once we get back. And my horse will be ready to, like... Well, one horse obviously can't take everyone. You know what? I know what... How many horses do we have, actually?
All of us have horses.
Except you, because you have a magic horse.
Correct.
I have the best horse.
That
Other
is
than
true.
that, all of us have horses.
I would ask one of you to give us your horse, or horse or whatever.
I don't.
Somebody's
necessarily
horse.
need My horse.
I would
You
just
can have my
like,
horse.
I would tie the reins of my horse to the Mr. Mundane horse and have him babysit. Tell him to be ready to find us.
Actually, Miles,
Yes.
do you know where the princess's room is?
Yes, I flew out of her balcony and into my room.
You flew from her balcony. How far off the ground is it?
Do I remember how far off the ground it was?
Pretty high, like 40 feet.
Perfect. That's plenty. Okay, Anna, I have an idea. We don't have to break into the castle. We just have to get beneath her balcony.
Well, is the balcony near the edge of the castle?
There's a wall around like the castle's like there's a keep and then a wall with a courtyard in between it.
If you can get us with your invisibility within 500 feet of the balcony, I can get us on it.
Oh, what you did earlier, but okay. Also, out of character, do we have any assumption that we could get that close?
You could definitely get that close without even going within the inner walls of the like citadel or castle complex. You could go like probably on a building across the street from these inner walls and see it and be right within range. It'd be pretty far, but less than 500 feet, I would say. Or you could alternatively probably, if you found a way, you could get inside the inner castle area, inside the inner walls of the keep or citadel, or whatever. And when you guys have gone in and out, that's like you had to go through the main gate there to get into the city when you guys had your extra day or whatever. And it was open as far as you guys could tell at all hours. You know, that doesn't necessarily mean it is now, but it was open. It has just been open. And if you get in there, then you could, get right beneath the that side of the castle where her balcony is.
If we're going to just teleport directly into a room, we should make sure that she'll actually be in our room and cooperative.
Well,
At the very least, I can send one more message relatively safely. Okay, back to 25 words or less. How long would it take for us to get into position to teleport into a room?
I mean, so the castle, is pretty deep within the city. It's it'll be like going through the streets, 15, 20 minutes. I don't know if you're walking fast. I don't know. You'll definitely.
It's like a half hour from now, maybe something like that.
Yeah,
since we're
probably.
Only a little ways up.
Mm-hmm.
That's not bad.
Probably half an hour. Because this gate, I mean, it's a big city, but it's not like it's ginormous. So, if you're walking quickly and you know where you're going, what you do, then you could make it there. Not too long. Hmm.
There we go.
Okay. Yeah, her balcony is open. There's she has like a door and curtains leading out onto it, but you don't even need to have your window open necessarily. It's like an open balcony. But
It's not.
but anyways, though, so she. I don't even know. So okay. Here's what she's gonna say. She's gonna say,
Texting that hot girl, magical D&D style.
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Like, come on, just let us come over. The Duke will never know.
I mean,
It's like,
Till he comes to the room.
right.
God damn it. Well, we we might have to convince her once we get there.
Well, I guess that's better than nothing.
Oh wait. Invisibly.
Alright, so you guys are gonna go ahead and from like a clump of trees or whatever in sight of the or just out of sight of the walls, you're gonna go invisible and then go through the gate?
Yep.
Alright.
Climb a building or balcony or whatever the hell, and we ghosting over the castle, I guess.
Okay, yeah, so I mean the main gate to the city is obviously open. People are coming and going for business reasons, and travelers are coming in. But as you're walking in, you guys do notice that there are some like a couple more guards than you had seen when you left this way. Security seems to be a little higher already, even though it's been like an hour or something since you left, or less. So still though, and I'd actually like both of you to make me a perception check real quick.
Oh no. Perception.
Okay, yeah, no, so yeah, you notice there are a couple more guards than there were coming out, and they seem to be like pretty alert, but other than that, you're good.
Okay.
Okay. So you make it through the gate, no problem, and you're invisible. So and the streets are getting busier as people are going about and doing business in the day. And so you guys are just gonna head straight to the castle, right?
Well, to wherever we can teleport to the balcony.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So like I said, you know that you could get within range on top of like a building outside to be able to see over the wall and up enough. You can get on top of a building nearby, one of the like 2 or 3 story tall buildings that are sort of there in the downtown, more upscale area. Or you could alternatively try to just go in through the front gate and get underneath, like at the courtyard. So I would say as you guys are getting closer to the castle and the walls of the castle compound, then you do notice that the gate is open, but there are actually like again more guards than normal above on top of the gatehouse and like underneath inside like the gate area.
I'd rather not try the gate. It might have some sort of proof against invisibility.
I'd also rather just not take the risk of bumping into one of the guards.
True. So a random nobleman's balcony then?
I suppose so.
Okay. So what's the idea? You're gonna try to like grapple up onto like the top of a building or climb up?
Yeah, honestly, I'm sure we could find some building where we could grapple up safely without attracting immediate attention.
Okay, yeah. No, it's
Yeah,
no
I mean,
problem.
we only need to reach 500 feet of balcony.
Yeah, no, it's more just so you can see over the walls. The angle right now is kind of steep, if that makes sense. But yeah, but no, you don't need too much height though. So yeah, I won't make you guys roll or anything. It'll take you a little longer this way, but for safety reasons, then that's one of the main reasons you're doing this. So, but yeah, you find a building, no problem, that has like a balcony, like a couple stories up that you're able to grapple onto real quick, and you make sure no one's there. And so you make it up to here, and now you can see just above the top of the like castle walls there, the castle compound walls, you can see the inner keep, and you can actually, I'm assuming Miles told you guys exactly where it was, right? Because you guys might not have known before, but
Yeah, like in relation to other parts of the castle.
and you see the balcony as Miles had described it to you, way up high on the upper level of the keep, the inner castle. You don't see the princess out there on the balcony. You see that it is open though, like you can kind of see just like the ceiling of her room from this angle. You can see that it's open. The curtains aren't closed or anything.
Alright, ready when you are.
Alright, well, I grab Anna's arm, and then I use Dimension Door to put us as far into the princess's room as I can see.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, you'll be like definitely
Within 500 feet.
Yeah, since you could visualize being...
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll be you can plop down basically in the middle of the room because it's not a huge room, even if it is nice and big. And so
she'll be visible, but I'll still be invisible.
Okay, so you do this, and you do this and plop down in the middle of this room, landing on the ground here, and or appearing, and yeah, you see that you're now in the room. The princess is actually like sitting off to one side, and there's no one else in the room. The door is closed. The balcony like curtains are open, but when you teleport in, she was like sort of looking towards the balcony, and so she sees Nox appear and goes like, "Oh, you."
I put a finger to my lips in a shush manner. She
nods and she's like, and then she quickly gets up and goes over and closes the balcony. She her face definitely, like her eyes seem a little like puffy and like red, but she comes over to you and looks around. She's like, where's your friend Anna, who was speaking to me in my head?
She's
over here.
Oh, I see.
No, princess, all of us rather believe that you may be in the near future, with the death of your brother and your father, in the middle of a power struggle that your husband is looking to enact.
I know he's an ambitious man, and he will not stop at anything to be seen as the king or the ruler of the kingdom.
And we wish to keep you safe from the dangers that can bring, especially, and the stresses that can, especially a mother to be.
I understand
I believe
this.
that we can keep you safe, and not only safe from people who would wish you harm, safe from your husband's ambitions.
I know you mean well, but my husband, he may not be the best husband, but in this case his interests do match my own. He wishes for the child to be safe because in his mind I believe that child represents his key to access the throne by.
And every other person who's seeking power in this country either wants this child killed or taken for themselves.
Yes, it is not your husband harming your child that I'm worried about. Husband's.
I realize this, but my husband is a powerful man, and right outside my door right now, and she motions the door. She's right outside my door right now. There are 2 of his best knights guarding me. I do believe that I might be just as safe here as I would be anywhere else in the kingdom.
And what assurance do you have that those guards are not possessed by demons right now?
And she looks at you and
Or
she's
that
like,
your child, when she is born, or he, I don't know, when they are born, will not be possessed by demons.
Jesus, man.
she definitely shocks her a bit. And
Her sister had a demon inside of her controlling everything she did.
Look, Your Highness, Miles said that you wished to adventure.
I used to, but I don't know if I could now.
Well, you'll never know unless you try. This is certainly your opportunity.
She kind of just like looks down and kind of like paces back and forth.
Noxir has a fort out in the woods full of very loyal followers. If we can get you out of here, unbeknownst to everyone, which I believe we can, they won't even know where you are when you disappear from here. You will not only be safe because of warriors guarding you, they will not know where to look for you.
I do believe that you mean to cause what's best for me, but I must be cautious. You realize I have not known you all that long, and I don't know you all that well, and even though again my gut says that you are telling the truth, I must be cautious with these things.
That is for the best. We do have self-interest in this, but
What
believe
are
me,
your?
I think your husband will cause ill for the kingdom if you stay here, more so than if you were to leave with us.
And what are your interests?
Our interests are that the Duke of Averton does not take the throne of the kingdom.
And who would you have?
I wish to see the cultists that have been pulling strings in the shadows to be undone.
And we have good reason to believe your husband is involved.
She looks kind of shocked by that, and she's like, "You do?
You're aware of what happened between Lord Felling and your husband's father?"
Yes.
It's because your husband's father was a cultist.
Is that related to the demons?
It is.
Yes, they work with these demons.
I see.
And
So-
your husband's personal advisor, what's his name?
Theodore.
Theodore,
Yeah.
the cleric, he had numerous demons in his secret study underneath his house.
I see. Who would you all have on the throne?
I don't have an answer to that, but it won't be someone who's consorting with demons and possibly conspiring with Nordland to invade our homeland.
If you wish for your son to be on the throne someday, I'm fine with that. He obviously cannot rule for many years. I just don't want this country to implode.
And she's like, she kind of just seems to be lost in thought. She's like, you realize this will cause you to make enemies. And your allies, if this word gets out about this, then anyone that you have conspired with and the Duke of Felling will also be considered enemies of my husband.
That is already the case.
Publicly, there might be cooperation, but there was never an alliance.
Yes. So anyway, so I'm out of character. I am just thinking for a second about what she's gonna say, but she is also in character thinking, because she definitely seems to be lost in thought as she is sitting here. And every couple seconds she kind of looks up like she might have a question, but then looks back down.
Like, if this offer is still not enough, we do have a friend of ours who lives in the sky, who can keep you even more distant from these matters and keep you and your child safe. You've heard stories of cloud giants, right?
Yes, I have. They are...
Yes, we not so long ago saved one's life. And if we were to ask him, he would keep you safe.
Again, I don't believe that I know you all well enough to really make a call like this, based on merely that trust alone. This is an important matter. Obviously,
well, we're not here to kidnap you, so we're not going to take you against your will, but we do have places that we need to go. We cannot stay here.
Yes, and I sent my maids out, but they will be back soon to check on me. My pregnancy is very early on. I've only known for about a month now. And it will be, with that being said, it will be the better part of a year, or at least half a year, until my child arrives. With me as his wife, my husband could press his claims to the throne, but I'm not sure he would. But if he has a son, especially, you know how men are. They would, many in the kingdom would look favorably upon a direct male heir of the king, even if it's a grandson coming to the throne, even as a child. And my husband would likely rule as regent. But if I have a daughter, I have no idea what will happen. And I do fear... I know that many, with my father being deceased, I know there are many who will support Duke Baldry of Norland over myself as a queen or my husband as a king. The Duke of Norland is older and wiser than my husband is, and that is true. I know the Duke of Norland, and I know that many would support him over my husband, which is why I fear that will be the cause of war. But my point in bringing this up is I do not know what my child will bring, and I don't think that me being gone from here will really make a difference. If my husband is going to press his claims, he'll probably do it with or without me.
If that is true, the only consideration you have is for the safety and happiness of you and your child.
Yes. But
Well, princess,
Mhm.
it's up to you what you do from here, whether you stay in this castle or come with us.
Hmm. I...
Trust me, no nobleman is safe.
I think I will go with you on the condition that if you can promise that neither me nor my unborn child will be turned over to any other nobles, whether it be the Duke of Felling or any other vassal of the king. If you can promise you will not turn us over and instead will allow me to go freely if I wish, I will take you up on your offer to come to your fort, but you must promise me that I will not be given away as a hostage to any other noble.
I will not tell another noble that we took you, not even the Duke of Felling.
Yes, and if you are worried about Nux's obligation to the Lord of Felling, we can give you over to our friend. Oh, what is that storm giant's name?
Srefum.
Srefum?
Yeah. Yeah.
His name's Srefum. He's an honorable man. And if we ask him to keep you safe, he will.
I will. If you have promised me this, then I will accept your offer. What must I do?
Well, I suggest you quickly gather whatever it is you feel like you might need and carry. Prepare yourself for slightly uncomfortable.
At this point, Anna appears.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm sure you're somewhat familiar with bags of holding.
I have heard of them, but I'm not really.
I intend for you and whatever possessions you desire to take with you to get into this bag, so that we might get you out of here quickly.
I can manage that, but I don't know what I would even bring. Clothes, although none of them would really fit in anywhere.
It's rather shrewd, but anything of high value. You might need coin.
I have heirlooms as well that I'll bring. If you give me but 10 minutes, I can have everything I need. It's all in here.
Very well.
Okay.
Alright.
Anna starts listening at the door. Also make sure the door is locked.
Yeah,
while
it's
she's
locked.
up on it.
Yeah, she starts going around, and yeah, so she starts going through like drawers and into like her closet and getting everything all like that she's gonna need. It seems like she isn't taking too much. Again, just kind of like the clothes that look less extravagant and over the top. You can see her putting together. While you're at the door, you hear like an occasional remark from one of the knights that is standing right outside. And you hear them just talking. It sounds like they're talking, like speculating about what's going to happen in the kingdom. And so yeah, it takes her again, about a good 10 minutes What is the plan to re-up your invisibility, or?
So
What I was
basically,
figuring
the
is
princess is going to get in the bag. I'm going to teleport Anna and myself with her holding the bag
Okay.
500 feet back down onto the streets or somewhere secluded
Yeah.
that we can see. And
Yeah,
then Anna will turn us both invisible and we will start heading back out of the city.
slight modification. We need to get somewhere safe, pull her out of the bag so she
Well, I
doesn't
mean,
suffocate,
right.
and then I can invisibility all three of us.
She's got 10 minutes. I didn't know you could invisible three of us.
Yeah, level 4 spell. It starts as level 2 for single, level 3 for 2 people, level 4 for 3 people.
Okay, well then I could just teleport us to somewhere and then you could.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's some alleyways.
I'm
you can
assuming
see.
we would go over this. Like, I don't think we can actually get out of here in 10 minutes.
Out of the city? No, I don't think so.
No, for out of the city.
I'm assuming we can get somewhere safe.
You could
Within,
teleport
like,
to an
5 minutes,
alleyway.
probably.
That's
I mean,
right there. Mhm.
Since we teleported here from the top of a building, I feel like we could teleport somewhere
Yeah.
safe.
We can probably see an alleyway to
Yeah, exactly.
yank her out in invisibility.
There are definitely alleyways you could go directly into right there. So she keeps going, and it looks like she's going through like the last drawer, and getting things like tossing what looks to be like some heirlooms, like a special like amulet and stuff into a small bag that she has here. But Anna, you hear something out the door. It sounds like it's just footsteps, but they're coming this way.
How good does the lock on her door seem?
Pretty sturdy, pretty darn sturdy. And so you hear the footsteps coming closer, and then you hear the voice of Maynard, the Duke's personal advisor. And you hear his voice, and he's like speaking out to the knights. Do you show any sign that you've heard this?
First thing I do is I look and see if the princess is hearing him talking.
She doesn't seem to notice. Because it's kind of muffled, through the door. But you're listening.
Yeah, I'll kind of quietly get her attention and be like, Maynard, he's coming.
And she looks panicked. She's like, he probably wishes to speak with me or bring me to the Duke.
Say you're naked.
And so after a moment, then Maynard knocks on the door and he says, my lady. And she calls out, and basically she tells him that she's not decent. And he's like, very well. I will wait out here, but the Duke does wish to speak with you in his study. I will wait a couple minutes. and she's like, oh, okay. And then she kind of hurries, but it seems like she'd be more careful not to knock stuff over or anything. But she finishes after like 30 more seconds. She was pretty much done. And then she kind of walks over and opens up the door to the balcony there, and the curtains, and sort of like looks at you guys. And you're further away from the door, so she speaks out. And she's like, "Okay, what are we going to go?"
All right, get in this bag.
I hope we can make it out of the city quickly, because once they find out I'm gone, all hell will break loose.
It shouldn't take too long.
If there's anything we're good at doing, it's running.
Very, very well. And with that, she just dives into the bag. Full princess gown and everything. No, she had changed into her most normal looking clothes, which are still like better than most the rich merchants' clothes, But still, she jumps into the bag. And
so she's in the bag. We look out on the balcony. Anna will probably close the doors to the balcony behind us carefully.
Mm-hmm.
Nox,
Yep,
do her thing.
I'm looking for a place that we can teleport. Once I see like a nice secluded alley.
Yeah, there's definitely a couple that you can see within sight.
Then I make sure Anna's ready. Teleport us over there.
Actually, make me a perception check real quick, Nox.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, you see an alleyway that looks pretty like there's not any people in it right now. So.
Okay.
And so as you are preparing though, then you hear another knock on the door. And Maynard is like, My lady, are you ready now? He clearly sounds like a little rushed.
Okay. I whisper quickly to Anna that she better be ready, and then grab her arm and teleport.
Okay.
Okay. Right before this happens, as a changeling, how good would I be at impersonating somebody's voice on the fly after having talked to them?
I think.
And I'm also a bard.
Unless you like change into her, I don't think you're gonna. Is that what you meant though? Because like.
No, I'm not gonna.
If you're not gonna do that, then I don't
change.
think you're not gonna have the same.
Normal mimicry is a thing as well. Though.
Yes, mimicry is a thing, but you don't have that as being a changeling. I would say unless you change.
God damn it!
Unless you change
the one
into.
time being a Kanku would be good.
Unless you were changing into her body, in which case I guess you would have her lungs and be.
Like,
I could just change into a Kanku.
Yeah. I mean,
you could also just like mimic her, like with charisma.
You can do that.
Well,
of course, yeah. You can...
deception. It would be like this.
Yeah,
decepting.
I mean, if you want to try
I'm
to
just
do
trying
that,
to debate whether faking being her would be better or worse.
Yeah, like totally. But you can still do that, obviously, and still try. It's just it's not going to be an instant like pass or anything. You'll still have to make an effort.
You know what? I'm a cast enhanced abilities on myself to give myself advantage on charisma checks, and I'm going to try and mimic her voice, saying 1 minute.
Okay. Yeah. So make me. To be honest, I'll let you actually choose between a deception and a performance. I
can tell you which I'm going to choose if I could choose performance.
Yeah, I will let you choose performance for that. Oh,
30.
Do you have an advantage? That's what enhanced ability is, right?
I have advantage because I burned a spell slot to give myself advantage.
Okay. And he's like, what did you say to him though? Sorry, I forgot.
1 more minute.
Okay. And he's like, very well.
All right, boys, we got ourselves a minute.
All right, we only need like 3 seconds.
I'm just trying to delay them chasing us a little bit.
Yeah. All right, so you.
All right, so then we warp down to an alleyway.
Yep. There. After a quick glance around, there doesn't seem to be anyone in this alleyway, either direction.
I stick my hand in the bag, think about the princess, yank her out of the bag.
Okay.
Give her a second to compose herself.
She's
say,
like,
all right.
She's like panting, like she's like.
Hold on to my
10
hand.
more minutes of breath.
No, this is like more like a panicked panting, not because she couldn't breathe. Yeah, she's
Hold on
fine.
to my hand. We're all going to be invisible. And just follow me.
She nods, doesn't say anything. She does look.
Right.
Again, she kind of looks like an emotional shock, you know.
Grabbing each of them,
right.
hand, shoulder, whatever. We get out of here.
Yeah. Just don't let go, princess.
Yeah. Yeah, and she'll say like, okay, if you're already invisible, otherwise she'll nod. But yeah, okay, and so you get cast invisibility upon again, which is more than enough time. So, and you make your way back to that gate, and you have no issues on the way. When you make it to the gate, though, like it seems as same as it did when you came in, like heightened security, but nothing beyond that. But as you are literally walking through the gate, then you hear a horseman, like a horse galloping through the streets towards the gate, like towards where you guys are passing through now.
But we can get through.
Yes, absolutely. No one stopped yet. Like the guard, you actually see the guards that are like at the gate, the inside of the gate. They're like looking towards this rider, and clearly like interested to go and talk to whoever it is.
I suggest we hurry.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right, and yeah, and you're fine to make it out. No one stops you, obviously. But you actually, like, glancing back over your shoulders, you do see that what it seemed to be a rider that was very, very urgently riding towards the gate and dismounts, and like this, you hear some yelling distantly, but you're already gone by now.
All right.
We'll
make our way back to the party.
Yeah.
Right.
Get to our horses that are stowed away, so we can travel a little quicker.
All right. Yeah, you guys make it back to the group. And as you guys, also once you guys are outside the wall, but not all the way back to the group, then the princess will say something quietly. She'll be like, I'm trying to think what she'll say. She'll be like, I've never really gone outside of the cities.
Well, you'll be outside of the city for, some time at least, until we can get back to the north of of Felling, or the north of Felling.
Very, very well. And yeah, and you guys make it to the rest of the group, which is 2 laying against her horse and Miles sitting there.
All right.
Aye.
Well, we roll up. I assume still invisible.
Yeah.
And then are just like, we need to go. We did it.
Okay.
The princess is like, hello again, Miles.
Hello.
And then she starts sobbing and crying again, which you just hear, but you see teardrops falling to the ground. Oh.
I'm going to offer her a hug.
Yeah, and she hugs you back, very lightly, but
So on a scale of 1 to 10, how princess does she look right now?
you can't see her, so
Invisible. So like
0.
Oh.
She'll be invisible for like another half.
Okay.
another half an hour, 45 minutes.
I
even,
wasn't
yeah.
sure if you dispelled it or not.
I mean,
You're only like less than a mile from the
Anna's,
city.
unless
that's fair.
Knox or the princess attack or cast a spell,
Yeah.
Anna's the only person who can make us not.
To be
invisible.
fair, we rode in on completely visible horses.
By the way, the princess would have told you that she actually is bringing her like an ornamental dagger, but it is functional. So she's like, I can try to defend myself if you need me to.
Once we get back, I'd drop invisibility, since I'd probably keep it up just to make sure we didn't get like shot
Okay.
Yeah.
as easily. Once we get back, I'm going to hand her my amulet of proof against detection and divination or whatever.
Yeah.
Tell basically if she doesn't know how magic items work, tell her.
Yeah. She
Tell her
understands.
to focus on it
and,
for like the next hour or whatever.
Yeah.
Says
She
they will.
Mhm.
Basically, it's telling her they will be looking for you.
Yeah.
Never take it off.
She tells you that she was tutored in some magic stuff, even though she's not magically gifted really, but she can do that.
Goodbye, magic item.
So, anyways, though, so she nods, and so what's the plan now? She'll ask you guys. She'll be like, so, where are we headed? I'd rather get away from here at this point.
Well,
So Invis was dropped, yeah?
yes.
Yeah.
Back to my original.
How princess does she look?
She looks like she's dressed as finely
I'm like
as
a 1 to 10.
Okay.
Well, you've seen her before. How? I guess a better thing would be
Before
comparison to
she
before.
was before she was maybe an 8 on the fanciness scale. Now she's like a 6. And the average
How much is Anna being a noble that was at one point
wearing war
fine
nobleman's clothes.
that was like a 3.
Okay, I'm going to toss her my tribe's clothes from the island.
Okay, and she'll like look at it and be like these clothes are well worn.
I'm just gonna say like, if you want to look less you.
She nods. She's like, yes, of course.
And it's gonna kind of poke at them and see if they're clean.
No, definitely not.
Presto change, they're clean now.
Okay.
I was gonna say they probably have blood and shit on them.
So yeah, blood and shit goes flying off
Yeah.
the side.
Shit.
As I basically
I like
wipe filth off
Yeah.
of it.
Princess seems to be appreciative of that.
I like to think that they're like a completely different color now.
Yeah.
I
They're
thought
like
these were.
actually white.
Yeah.
I thought these clothes were brown.
They're like actually a green color.
Yeah. So she'll put those on. Probably
Like,
she.
whenever.
And
she
it'll
gets
Yeah.
there.
kind of after doing that, walk up to you and try and cast prestidigitation to clean your face and see if that changes color.
Oh, because that's fucked up, man.
I'm just assuming she's as filthy as her clothes, man.
I'm not sure you can say that on stream.
Yeah, I don't
TOS.
like.
Ow!
And-
Making it about race.
Anyways, no, it's just the freckles will
Because
come
you're
off.
calling a tribesperson dirty.
Oh my.
Hey. The clothes, man.
So
That's all I need to know.
So
Okay.
so
moving
she
on.
did ask though where you guys were going now.
Right. We are headed towards Merthfield.
She's like, Mirthfield,
And
isn't
then
that's a little town in the Halfshire.
That's correct.
What? Why are we headed there?
Why
Well-
are we headed there?
The cultists that your husband is so wrapped up in have. There's a shrine in the woods over there that belongs to centaurs who used to live here and have apparently returned, and they plan to steal something from it, and we aim to stop that from happening.
If they returned, wouldn't they not be stealing from it?
No. The centaurs are not who we're concerned about.
Yeah. She's like, oh, the cultists, of course.
I'm gonna need to check this girl's stat block.
But after Mirthville, we'll be on our way for a brief stop in Fellington, and then to my fort in the mountains, where we will drop you off, and then we will have to leave toward another place that we have business.
Hmm.
She nods and she's like, very, very well.
I'm also gonna give her a crash course on how to be a commoner.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, we should do the crash
we're
course
traveling?
as we walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While you guys are traveling, yeah.
Get her
that's
attuned
fine.
to that amulet. Tell her how to not be a fucking blatant noble walking around.
Okay. So,
Probably undo any fancy hair she's got going if necessary.
Okay. So, I'd like you all to make me perception checks.
Stop picking on my worst roll.
It's not
Well-
my worst roll. 'cause
Ooh.
that
Well,
would be athletics.
second, tied by like 7 things for first.
Double 14.
No, that was advantage. So take the 3.
Yeah. Okay. So, actually, you can do the companions if you wish in this case as well, because they would let you know for something like this. Okay.
Fuck everyone else.
Perception.
So this is something that you all are going to hear. It's just a matter who hears it first. So Nox hears it first. This is after you've been traveling for maybe an hour or two, right? And so it's like afternoon now, or maybe around a little past midday. Not too long though. And you're on the road between Averton and Rymanshire, which is a major road. And you, Nox, you're the first to hear it, but you hear what sounds like a bunch of hooves galloping, like more than just one horse, like quite a few. It's like a little bit like
Behind us, perhaps.
behind you. Yes. You hear this first, and then going down in order of who got higher numbers, then the rest of you hear it as well. But every couple seconds, every 10 seconds, the next person down would hear it. So if you let people know, you'll have plenty of time to talk
All right,
about this.
folks. I'm assuming that's the group looking for the princess.
Probably.
Should I just make her invisible and we play dumb?
Yes.
All
Really,
right.
It would be odd for them to not find us on the road.
All right. I've been picturing her just riding on my horse since she's got to be on somebody's horse.
She would have asked to ride a Miles horse. No, not actually.
In any case, I also have. I think I'm
Shoot
the
on
only one with
Nana's
a war
horse.
horse.
Yeah, she'd ride on
So,
Nana's horse. Okay, so you make her invisible.
And then we just keep going about our business.
Yeah, act normal. Okay. So very quickly, after only a minute, then these people are upon you. Glancing back over your shoulder, it is very obvious that yes, this is actually clearly a few knights and their squires or whatever from Averton. They have the Aver coat of arms on their armor, whatever, on the shield. You probably have seen one of these knights before and recognize it from in the castle, but they both so it's 2 knights and then looks like 4 squires or something, or accompanying guards or something, soldiers of some sort, and they ride up on you guys and then sort of stop or not stop, but right alongside you guys, and the knights on either side and the squires sort of behind you guys. But one of the knights calls out, he's like, "Whoa there!
Yes, what's going on? Why are you in such a hurry?
I know that you have just left Averton and with your companions here, and the Honorable Lady Nox. of Felling, but we wish to ask you a couple questions.
Very well.
Did you see anything suspicious as you were leaving the city?
Well, we were attacked.
Yes, I did hear about that, but was there... did you go to the castle after you left in the morning?
No.
And...
We were attacked.
Because we have...
left.
We have just come back, or we have just found out that the princess of the kingdom, the duke's wife, has gone missing.
Is that
Is it
so?
Is it
It must
something to
be-
do with the king? I heard about the king's death as well.
We do not know. Have any of you seen any or heard anything? Anyone passing that's mentioned anything about this? Have you?
No, this is the first I've heard of it.
I'm gonna make you make a deception check.
Alright. 8.
You piece of shit.
I'm gonna roll for this guy. Hold on. Maybe he'll fall for it. He's not the most.
Ruined?
Maybe.
It's a. I'll just tell you, it's a flat 20. Okay. And so he's like, he like looks at you, Miles. He's like, "Are you sure you don't have any information? Because
I turn my horse to face him and I say, "Are you implying something about any of my companions?"
My Lady Nox, we were merely sent directly by the Duke to ask you all. He merely thought that if anyone would know about this, that you would." And he kind of definitely, you don't even have to roll an insight check. He definitely, like, this is very clearly just a thinly veiled kind of threat.
I mean, I
or-
was gonna take it as I'm just taking it as an insult. and
Yes, yeah.
Telling it.
When was the last time she was seen?
No, hold on.
Hold on.
The Duke.
I mean, I'm still gonna ask it.
Sure. The
You
Duke.
don't know. You don't know common.
The Duke deigned
I do
to-
outside of the city.
insult us in his own court, and I accepted it there because it was his place. Here on the roads, you are making a very big, or taking a very big risk, implying that either me or my party have anything to do with the princess not being in the castle, especially with your master already accusing the Duke of Fellington of having something to do with the heir's death.
He like sort of thinks about this for a second, and he's like, "I understand, my Lady Nox, but you do realize, from the perspective of the Duke, I am by no means one of his senior knights, but or his most trusted advisors, but I do know the Duke, and you can understand that from his perspective, having the princess disappear within hours of a group of, let us say, perhaps less, and he actually does like pause and think about how he's going to word this. He's like, people who would have reasons to work against the Duke, having a group of them leave and the princess disappear within a few hours of that, you could understand the suspicion that would arise.
I most certainly could not understand the suspicion that could arise. What reason would we have to make the princess disappear when we were sent on a diplomatic mission from the Duke of Fellington to arrange an alliance between the duchies of Felling and Ava? That would be counter to our entire purpose.
As you said yourself, in the court of the Duke, there is a certain protocol that must be taken. But out here, I can tell you plain and simple that we both know that you weren't sent to the Duke on a diplomatic mission. There were other intentions, and if they were to kill the princess and dump her body somewhere, then
You know nothing of the sort, and you have no idea what you are talking about. You may presume to know whatever you like.
He's like, so he thinks he's sort of just sits there for a sec.
Do you really think that we would travel openly along the road after doing something to the wife of the Duke of Averton?
He actually thinks about that. He's like, I mean, so he says,
You should not be counting your enemies right now with the king's death. You should be counting your allies.
I certainly do believe the Duke intends to do so, but this is an urgent matter, you see, and regarding your question, I do believe that if I were in your shoes, and if I had done such a thing to the princess, I probably would travel with my companions on the road, knowing the repercussions, the fallout that would happen when a group like myself goes looking and can't find travelers such as yourselves on the road where they should be.
If the Duke of Averton is unable to keep his own wife safe, to the point that he feels the need to insult and accuse with no proof the nobility of his neighbors, that is his own problem, but it is not ours. If you want to continue to insult us over this matter, there are ways that we can resolve the issue, but we've not seen your princess.
Okay. I'm gonna have you roll me a deception check. I wouldn't have, except for the last part about where you directly said we haven't seen the princess.
Well, I'll spend my inspiration.
Okay. Yeah. That seems pretty good.
Of course.
So he literally
When
cannot
you spend
succeed. It's a flat 20, so he literally cannot succeed. So I'm not even gonna roll. He just kind of, he takes what you say. He definitely thinks it over a second and mulls it over. You can see the wheels turn, and he's like, very well. We will allow you to continue on your journey, but I will warn you that the Duke has his suspicions.
Well, as I told you, you and the Duke can presume whatever you like, but we were here for a noble purpose, and we've been nothing but insulted.
At that point, he kind of like, he might give the slightest nod, and his procession turns around, and as they start to ride the other way, then he calls back out over his shoulder and says, like, safe travels, Lady Knox.
And you as well, this night.
Yeah, it's just the night. He hadn't given you his name. Yeah. And they ride away the other direction. And the princess, whether she's invisible or not, still she'll like.
I'm keeping her.
Yeah,
invisible.
that seems smart. She's like, I did, and she probably just says this just to Anna. In front of her, she's like, I don't mean. I do regret that I will be causing this much trouble to you. Seems I've already caused a bit.
They would have questioned us even if you had disappeared by somebody else's hands.
Yes, but I do not wish to endanger you.
We endangered ourselves, don't worry about that.
Yeah, and she doesn't say anything else to that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep that invisibility up for
As long
the
as
next
it is.
while.
Yeah. Okay. So.
2. Are you familiar with I don't know what the best term would be. Woodcraft, survival, tracking,
Nature stuff.
nature stuff. Would you know if people are following us?
I mean, I would know how to follow something. I'm not sure I'd know how to tell if somebody's following us, like, without just seeing them.
Yeah.
Like,
Would you be able to prevent
like, I can
others from?
I can see real far, and I like
That's
adjust
true.
my
Your
glasses.
spectacles.
How are you at covering up tracks?
I mean, I could give it a shot.
We've already had our obligatory viewing by the guards on the road. Perhaps we should break away at this point.
So, I'm going to pull out my rope, and then I'm gonna like just sit on my horse backwards,
Yeah.
and then wiggle 50 feet of rope
Yeah, I got you. Like,
behind us.
okay. Yeah, I no, yeah,
As
to cover it
disturb
up.
the footsteps.
Yeah, and do that for a while until you guys then get off the road, is what Anna seems to be saying.
Yeah, I'm thinking we should like at least jump to another road and take
Yeah,
a
yeah, like a
less
parallel.
commonly
Mhm.
traveled path.
Okay.
Poetry.
Yeah.
Was Liara the name of the princess? I can't
Yes,
remember.
it was. I think it was Lyria.
Oh god, what's this?
Yeah, Lyria.
Lyria. So okay, so if you want to do that too, then just make me a survival check.
All of the anime gifts and none of the anime watching.
But you can do
I
a
just search for gifts.
Apparently that's good anime.
SirPurplex.
Watch
If
it.
you want to do
It
a
was
survival
alright.
check, you may.
Log Horizon.
What's that?
If you want to do a survival check, you may for that.
Yeah, sure.
It's dealing with
Yeah,
tracks and
sure.
tracking, so.
I swear to God, if you have a +0. Actually, no,
I don't-
it's a wisdom check, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, I'm not
So
sure how that would actually be possible with a proficiency bonus of 3.
Yeah.
You would have to have a -3 wisdom.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah, and that would be
I
real
don't think
bad.
that's actually possible.
You'd have to have a.
Well, you'd
it's
have
not
to roll for
possible with
stats.
Point by.
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah. Oh yeah, make your roll. Okay,
There
yeah.
you go.
Yeah, you do. You think you do a pretty good job as you are wiggling the rope out behind, or whatever. Maybe you like.
Not walking.
Since Anna knows next to nothing about anything to do with tracking and woodcraft, I'm just gonna be like, yeah, seems like
I mean-
a good plan.
I mean, I'm
Yeah,
assuming
how
maybe
do
you
you-
like get some
How do
branches
the
that have
rest
leaves
of
on
you
them. or
feel
whatever,
about
too.
me riding a horse backwards?
Yeah.
Wiggling the rope?
Look, you've done weirder things.
Apparently it's working, so like results, man.
Say,
Mhm.
Lyria, do you still happen to have that stone I gave you?
Sorry. I know. I'm sorry. I was looking at something real quick. She is like, yes, and she'll pull it out of her bag of holding.
And she's invisible, so there's an invisible stone being held towards you.
Yeah.
Good, keep it with you.
She nods. Well, I guess you wouldn't be able to see that. She just says yes. She says okay.
I mean, she might also nod because that's just natural.
Yeah,
but-
she probably would. so anyways, though, so on the it'll be a few days to get to Mirthfield. In that time, what are you guys going to be talking about?
Yeah, I'm assuming we're gonna end up taking a lot longer.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Trying to-
If you're going off the road, it will take longer. Yeah.
Let's see. I'm assuming we would have been.
Oh,
like,
we went off the road.
Yeah, that was the idea. That's why they're
I'm
covering the
assu-
tracks.
I wanted us to cut at least to another road.
Yeah, there
Okay.
are
We're
minor
on.
roads that crisscross this area because it's pretty, just relatively densely populated.
And we probably
So-
shouldn't stay in any large. Well, God, how paranoid is.
I mean,
And I
you
would
can
probably
keep us-
propose that we don't stay in any towns during
you
the
can
night
keep
for the
us
next few
safe,
days.
so-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Safer than an inn, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you're just gonna kind of camp on the road, and make it there.
Like off the road enough that we wouldn't get stumbled on.
Okay. Yeah, sounds
Yeah.
good.
Oh, can I have my bag of holding back?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, sure.
So
I might have
let's
even
see.
given it back to you already since you had all that stuff hanging out.
So if you guys are going to Mirthfield and you're starting to stay off the roads and stuff, it'll probably actually be like a week, I would say, if you're not rushing it. If you're riding your horses full speed, then you can make it there quicker. But
It
otherwise,
just seems irresponsible.
yeah. So let's say it takes a week to get there, because you guys are being cautious and stuff, and you're not staying in any towns. I will actually have one of you roll me a d12. Anyone may roll it.
It
I'm gonna
will
have
be-
Elowen roll it.
Okay.
Too late.
And I already rolled it.
And I already rolled it.
I called it first, though.
it's fine. So I will say that when you guys
You did
are
technically do that.
so Rymanshire has like the largest bridge across the river there, and the safest like area to cross that river and get to the other side, and then that road continues on. You guys don't have to go over that main bridge, or you could like this would be a couple days later. You could make the princess invisible while you go over it. But
Yeah, if it's like an obvious choke point,
Yes,
I would
it
say
is.
we either go around it or I just have her be invisible while we travel
would-
through that town.
Again, also be a little bit weird if there weren't any signs of us in Rymanshire.
Rymanshire is not actually under the Duke of Aver, though. I will say.
I mean, sure.
He's under the Count of Haffelshire, you know.
The cult
But-
is everywhere, man.
Yeah. Still, though.
It's in-
Yes, I
Cults in
understand.
the trees and the grass and the cities.
So,
What if
yeah.
the cult is the Earth?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Cult of the Earth. We're in
So-
Perplex's campaign again.
So I'd say then, so you guys cross over the bridge, then it sounds like, and make the princess invisible. But
Yeah.
when you cross the bridge, you cross this way to get here to Averton. Definitely, there seemed to be more of a guard presence around the bridge. That area is a choke point, and there is more of a guard presence. They don't actually stop you guys at all. They give you like a nod and a look maybe, but there is definitely like double the guards that there were before. And actually, as you're going through Culliman, that little town there, and then Rymanshire, you do notice actually that it seems like the sort of the atmosphere is different. More people, you notice, are wearing like a sword on their belt, or you see a person carrying weapons through the street in a more open fashion than you did on the way in.
Anna would probably inquire to one of the guards if there was anything particular to watch out for beyond, obviously, the news about the king.
Okay. Okay. They would actually. This guard would be like, Also, you're just like looking for any updates, like new news about anything dangerous.
Yeah, new news, danger in the area.
Yeah, let me look real quick. It's a halfling guard. Most of the guards here are in Rymanshire. Rymanshire is ruled by a halfling, and so the halfling guard he's like, oh well, I mean, you heard about the attack on Thurbershire, right?
Attack on
Thurbershire.
Thurbershire, yeah.
Thurbershire?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Uh,
Thurbershire.
Yeah, well,
Sure.
Count of or the Earl of the Wenswood still hasn't been able to push them back, and supposedly scouts have found out they got even more numbers there now. Beyond that, you know what with the you know that the king's death though, right? Because that's obviously the biggest piece of news I could give you.
Yes,
We'd
we
heard
heard
something
when we were
about
in
that.
Everton.
Yeah, all right. Well, as far as I know, the nobles of the kingdom are actually deciding who they want to be the next king. Baldry of Norland and Jesper of Ava both step forward, and
Who did?
the Duke Baldry of Norland and Jesper of Ava. So, nobles are gonna take a bit of a vote, all the major nobles of the kingdom, and the king will be decided off of that, since a lot of people think they got about equal claims.
Could start civil war.
Yeah, beyond that, we did hear that the Duchess of Ava has gone missing, the princess.
Oh.
But seems like most
Anyone-
of the nobles in the kingdom don't really care. A lot of them want Jesper to be the new king anyways.
Any word on who was involved in that?
Not really. Seems like the Duke of Ava's been pretty hush-hush about the whole situation.
Oh, I'd imagine.
Yeah, probably doesn't want information leaking too far about that.
Seems like somebody has it out for the whole royal family.
Seems a little suspicious if you ask me. The king, the heir, and the princess all dying and disappearing so closely just for Duke Jasper to push his claim.
I mean, I'm just a guard. I wouldn't know too much about that, but certainly seems kind of suspicious to me too. I agree.
Are we the baddies?
No.
Anyway, so this guy
yet.
kind of shrugs though.
Give
He's
us
like,
time.
yeah. He's like to me. I just hope war doesn't come to here. Yeah, I mean, oh, hold on, I gotta find this quick. Where is it? Give me 2 seconds. I have to find this name, or I'd like to. Yeah, okay. He says, no, that's not it. Yeah, he's like, the Baron here of Rymanshire, Ridderwim, he doesn't really like Jesper. They've always had sort of territorial disputes about, stuff about the river here, because the towns upstream, those are under the Duke of Ava's control. But the stuff here is under the Baron of Rymanshire's control, and he's under, Count of Haffelshire, Emanad.
Yes. Control of water is usually a diplomatic issue.
Anyways, though, but so I hope if war does break out, and we'll know in the next couple of days, once the nobles come to a decision and nomination's been made. If war does break out, if there's conflict, unfortunately, I think we'll be seeing it.
Yes.
One way or another.
I fear that this was doomed to happen as soon as the heir, the king's unfortunate death as well. It was going to happen sooner or later at that point.
He nods, and it seems like he doesn't have much else to say. But then he kind of says, like, yeah. Where are you from, if you don't mind me asking? You traveling through?
I'm Knox of Fort Duskstar, a knight of the Duchy of Felling. We are just returning from a visit to the Duchy of Avaton.
I think I heard about you all. Are you the ones in that song that's been going around lately? The one about a drake up in the mountains there.
Yes, that does sound like
that's
us.
Yeah, some bard came in, said he was from an area real close by to that, where it happened, and he was spreading the story. Said one Anna wrote it. Wanted to make sure that he attributed a song to her.
How was the song?
How was the song? I mean, the song itself was great. I mean, the guy, he was pretty young. The guy playing it seemed like he wasn't the most experienced, but the song itself was pretty good.
Good.
It'd be like if I heard one of the old, one of our old halfling bagpipe shanties being performed by a human bard. I mean, sure, they'll get all the notes right, but it doesn't have the same feel, I'm sure the original composer could have done a much better job.
Yes, bagpipes are rather hard to get used to.
He nods.
Well, Anna, it seems like you're being famous even when you're not playing the music yourself.
Wait, you're Anna, the composer of that song?
I mentioned as much.
I mean, it makes sense if you were the group that did the Drake thing, but I thought it was just for sure some bard you guys hired. But
No, she was there for the whole thing.
wow. And he looks like he's shocked, but he's like, that's crazy. Well, I don't see too much interest in stuff like that down here. I mean, occasionally we got some fights. Orcs will come in from the hills to the north and attack, but we don't got drakes attacking normally. That'll happen in the woods, drakes and dragons and wyverns occasionally every few years, but other than that,
Well, with any luck, things in the country will calm down, and perhaps you'll be able to hear me play the song yourself.
mm-hmm. He nods. He's like, well, hope you have safe travels. You won't see any. You shouldn't see any trouble along the way. By the time you make it back to Felling, we'll probably know one way or another how this is going to turn out.
God, I'm trying to think if there's any useful information I could give him that wouldn't just be like ruining anything. I'm pretty sure he's gotten all the big things already
Yeah.
from rumors.
Yeah.
So we'll head on out.
Okay, sounds good. So,
Assuming we can get through the town with the invisibility.
oh
up.
yeah, totally. It's not a large town. It does have. It actually has like a set of walls, stone walls even, but they're only like, like 10, 15 feet tall. They're not even that big, and they're not around the whole town. But you managed to get through the town no problem. And yeah, so it's a few more days to Mirthfield. As you guys, probably the day after when you pass through Rymanshire, then Darwin will actually like ride up alongside you on his riding pony, as I had called it, Anna, and he'll sort of be talking to you one day of travel there as you guys are entering like into the heart of the Halfshire. He's gonna come up alongside you and be like, Anna.
Yes.
You mind if I tell you something?
Go for it.
You know I'm from these woods.
Yeah.
Something about the woods feels different. Coming back in now, different than when we left.
What's this man's name again? I'm sorry.
Darwin.
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 And where are we exactly?
You are. This is like after Rymanshire, between Rymanshire and Pridrenport. So it's like, or actually maybe around Pridrenport, probably. When you're about to enter into where the forest gets thicker, you know. And so he's like, I don't know what it is. Just I got a gut feeling. Something feels different about the woods. I grew up here in these woods, and you get a feel for these sort of things, especially when you spend as much time out in the woods as I have. I don't know what it is.
Dangerous?
I couldn't tell you. It just feels different. I honestly can't even tell you if it's good or bad. Just doesn't feel the same. Doesn't feel like I'm walking into the same woods.
Alright, tell the others to be careful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pull out the bagpipes and cast Fly on myself.
Okay, okay.
I'm gonna scout the area.
Okay. So yeah, Darwin tells the rest of the group, like keep your eyes open, and he might even tell the rest of the group if you ask him why. He'll be like, I just got a gut feeling that something feels different. He'd say,
Where are we again?
I'll ping the spot. You're like maybe,
Outside of.
You're like past Pridrenport, so now you're like entering.
Okay.
Which way are you guys going, by the way? North or north or southern route? Like towards Caerwynn and Keldenford and then Mirthfield, or Trinby and then Keldenford and Mirthfield? It doesn't really matter, but let me know just in case.
I mean, it looks faster to go south because then we don't have to turn around.
It's a little more direct, yeah. And even though the road is smaller, it's still a pretty safe road at that point. It's on the coast and stuff. It's traveled frequently. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and so the so Anna though goes up and starts flying around in the sky.
I'm gonna die.
Do you want to make me a perception check?
Ugh, my favorite rolls.
Jesus, my neighbors are
Fucking savages.
So the woods just seem like normal woods to you,
So I'm not seeing anything around, no smoke.
No smoke or anything like that. No, dragons.
Random chunks of felled trees or anything.
No, you don't see anything like that.
I guess if I don't see anything from way up, I'll kind of travel a little ways ahead along the road, make sure I don't see anything to either side.
Yep. Sounds good. You make me another perception check, actually. Just to be sure. Okay. Yeah, no, you're pretty sure that it's just normal woods. You don't see any bandits or anything like that. It just looks like normal woods and normal road.
Alright. I guess I'll float back over to my horse then.
Mm-hmm.
And hold on a second. I will start using counter charm and playing my instrument while we're going down the road
Okay.
as a precaution.
Yeah, sounds good. So
Do you guys think this has anything to do with centaurs?
With what?
the
The
centaurs.
return of the centaurs.
I can't help but feel that they are related.
Darwin, he kind of like nods to this. He's like, that could be it. I couldn't. Again, I got no idea what it is for certain, but certainly could be.
Well, whatever it is, I'm sure we'll find out when.
All right, and you guys continue on. So you make it to Kerwanan, no issues. If you wanted to ask around for anything, any new news here, that's totally feasible. You could try to do that. Otherwise, we'll skip forward.
Might ask if they've noticed anything strange.
Okay. So yeah, you probably talk to someone in the tavern in there. And actually, like the tavern keeper would be he's a pretty cheery little halfling. He would definitely open up and be like, he would kind of tell you, he obviously doesn't travel, he's a business run, but he'll actually lean in close to you, Nox, while you're asking, and be like, I'll tell you what though, we get plenty of travelers here coming along the coast, and I heard a rumor from one of them that they saw some centaurs in the woods on the coast.
Interesting.
He said he was traveling along the coast near Halfdale Rest, a little north of there, and he said that he even saw them getting off a boat.
Well, that certainly would be interesting if that were true.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I wouldn't believe it, but I mean, past couple of 100 years, there was actually like one or two other groups of centaurs that came back from Selthia, from across the way. Didn't stay for long, just a couple months, but it's not unheard of. It's just not what you hear about every day, and normally when they do, they come into the city, in the town of Halfdale Rest. Normally they don't just sneak off in the woods like this guy said they were looking to do. But
Sorry, I think my neighbors are dying. All I hear is screaming.
Yeah,
I also hear
heard
that.
that.
I am also hearing that.
Do you want to take a break real quick, actually?
No, I'm like,
Oh my god. What?
I'm gonna look at this.
Yeah.
Yeah, go take a
Yeah,
look at
go.
that.
Okay. Oh, Jesus.
Give us all the juicy details.
Oh my god. I actually have to pee real quick though, so I'm gonna be right back. I'm not gonna mute the stream though. You guys can talk to the 0 viewers. I'll be right back.
Yeah, so like that it sounded like bad.
Hello, 0 viewers.
I really hope whatever I was hearing while I was gone was the misbehaving child and not somebody dying.
That was Jack's neighbors.
He's
My
going
point
to
stands. He's gonna go check on them now.
He's currently checking on them now.
Well, rip Jack.
Yeah. So like
So what do we do if he just doesn't come back because he was murdered?
we call like the police probably.
Oh, I was just saying, like, I was just meaning, like, who controls Nox?
Yeah, no,
The
like
police.
we probably call the police.
Oh, all right. The police control Nox. I get it.
Nox is now lawful neutral.
Does that mean the police also control Alejandro?
Yes.
Definitely.
And the order.
Wait, are they going to make us bring the princess back to Averton?
Well, you see,
No,
we're in
so-
medieval era, so the whole like rule of law is a little bit different.
Yeah, so you see the whole police department is actually gonna play every single one of Nox's army.
Oh, individually.
Yeah, and we're gonna have like a 20-person party.
Yeah, they're all gonna play. What are they currently like? CR 1/2 or
Something like that.
something like that.
Maybe. I don't know.
I know that they were set up to be like different CRs as they progressed,
Yeah.
Bunch
but
of
they're not.
fucking
They're not.
dickheads
They're
is
not
what
player
they are.
sheet characters because that would just be like a lot of work and also complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you imagine like 30 level 1 hex plays as in PCs?
No.
That'd just be too much.
I can imagine it. I can also imagine how much trouble it would be to do.
No.
All them spell slots. All that darkness.
It's a lot
Well,
of
at level 2.
Yeah.
That's when they get invocations, right? 2?
Yeah.
So yeah, level 2 would just be darkness. Forever. Yeah, Jack's still muted, so I'm assuming there's like a domestic issue.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Somebody was kicking their
Welcome.
boyfriend out their house.
Mmm.
Nice.
They were
So-
not happy.
So was
It
it
sounded
the
not
somebody
happy.
or the boyfriend screaming like a girl
No,
getting
that was,
murdered?
That was the woman in the apartment.
Gotta check.
Mm-hmm.
Screaming
I mean,
at the guy to
do
leave their
you
house.
have to check?
I wanted to.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, like no doubt.
Not gonna lie, I could scream like that if I want to.
I don't think
I
I've
mean,
tried to scream like
I
that.
believe you.
I was very young.
I've done it in Walmart.
Hurt.
People actually thought a girl was getting murdered in Walmart.
Well,
Like, why did you do that in Walmart?
Because it's Walmart, it's not like,
Like,
anybody's gonna care.
When you
So-
live in the middle of nowhere,
so I
that's
guess-
like the only public place to do stupid things.
I guess first question. How long ago was this?
I was 19.
That's
I am
okay.
currently
That's
19.
poetry age.
That's back when I was like going to Walmart at like 2 in the morning because we had nothing better to do and we happened to be like driving around.
Also, second question. Why did you not blatantly steal something and walk out of the store yelling "Boonk Gang"?
Because that was before Boom Game.
yeah.
And I'm a delinquent, not a thief.
Well,
No. As long as you yell "Boonk Gang,"
Yeah, it's
you're
alright.
not a thief.
I
Yeah,
didn't know the
gang
meta
is
because
the payment.
he created the
Because-
meta and he was after
because-
my time.
Because "Boonk Gang" makes it a prank.
so so we can go and get back into it after that
Yeah.
brief
So
break.
what do I say to make it a social experiment?
Until
You just need to
It's a,
make a YouTube video.
you need to run away yelling it's a prank, bro.
Mm-hmm. So what had Jack, did Nox try to get any other information from this bartender?
We were being told about centaurs.
Yeah, there's a
That
rumor.
were, that's basically the end of
Getting
that.
told things we already know. You know, our whole journey, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be right back.
Mhm.
Shouldn't take long. Though.
Okay.
Yeah, you be back.
So the
So
next
should we throw Miles in his own bag of holding while he's gone?
yeah.
He's
So,
been there for 11 minutes and he dies.
He can't get out.
so
It's true.
the
If he tries to puncture it, he gets shunted out into the astral plane.
Yep. So the next couple days of travel, they go by all right. Keldenford, around Keldenford,
I'm sorry.
then then Darwin would like talk to Anna some more about how they're about to pass through his hometown. But he would say that he didn't really have any interest in talking to many of the people here.
Oh yeah, we went the other way last time, so we didn't pass through here.
Yeah. But he would
Like-
tell you that.
I guess we can ask about his band of marauding halflings while we're traveling through as well. See
Mhm.
if people heard about them.
Okay, yeah. You ask. They haven't been seen around here in a long time.
All right.
Well, because they're not based out of here. They aren't really based out of anywhere.
They're based out of everywhere, so
Yeah.
you know.
But no, they haven't been seen here in a couple of years, actually. So Keldenford passes without incident. And you hear the same rumors, actually, that there were, like, centaurs spotted. And people are like, "Dude, you really think that's true?" And people are skeptical, but it's not, like, to the point where they're like, that couldn't happen. They're just like, it seems unlikely.
So are all the rumors pointing to this happening when they were heading toward that temple or outside Mirthfield, or are they like actively traveling around now?
The rumors, they haven't been spotted anywhere else. It's the same rumor about someone seeing them on the coastline.
All right.
Yeah, disembarking from a boat, it seemed.
And then they headed inland.
Mm-hmm. So,
all right.
Burn
their boats. I mean, what?
Mm-hmm. So you make it to Mirthfield, no problem. And you had met the lord that rules this place.
Yeah.
But you already know where the place is that you need to go. So what's the plan
I don't
here?
think we want to talk to any lords, probably, since we have a very important nobleman that might get recognized with us.
It's fair.
In fact, like, I'm probably going to make her disappear at any point where I'm worried that someone would recognize her.
All right.
Since I can do it for hour increments pretty easily.
Give me 1 second. Let my dog in here.
I'm back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, sounds good. So would you use one invisibility thing here when you enter Mirthfield? Go through it.
Yeah, probably like going through towns most of the time.
Okay. Sounds good. And then so you guys are just gonna pass through. When you get here, it's actually probably nighttime. So maybe you want to stay at an inn or just camp for the night and then go the next morning to the.
Nah, man,
shrine?
we hut boys.
Okay, so you're just gonna be hut boys, and then the next morning go to the shrine, though, or do you want to go?
Oh
at
yeah,
night?
that's what we've pretty much been doing, as far as I'm aware.
Okay.
Like getting supplies when we need to in town, traveling through towns, but staying off road somewhere.
So just if you want to go to, you could go to the shrine at night if you would prefer that.
Yeah, I don't think that's probably a good idea.
Okay.
We got people that can't see in the dark.
Okay, does Miles make any contact with the tree ant before you guys
I would
arrive?
assume that. So what exactly has been going on?
You've been traveling the rest of the way. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're outside Mirthfield camping for the night before talking to the tree ants and the centaurs again.
All right, and
he's asking if you would want to dial him up with that stone.
The forest feels weird or something.
So
the halfling said the forest feels weird, and we've been hearing rumors about the centaurs, but it's just them showing up, basically.
Yeah, that's all you've heard from public rumor.
Yeah, I'd probably call the tree and be like, "Hey, everything all right over there?"
It would respond and say, more of our friends have arrived. You are not needed here.
More of our friends, as in, what we're hearing about was maybe more centaurs now. Okay.
Yeah.
But that's all. It just says, more of our friends have arrived. You are not needed here.
Would you pass that along?
Yes, I would tell you guys.
we should still stop by and tell them that attack is planned.
Should I just fly into the center of this clearing? As long as I can convince them not to shoot me on sight,
yes,
I might be able to talk to them.
You're more than likely to just get shot before you ever touch the ground. They were
I
very
could be invisible and fly.
I don't think you can be invisible and fly. They're both concentration. Am I right?
We're talking in game, sir. Get out of here. Get out of here with your mechanic.
Can you do that?
Well, I was lamenting that I couldn't.
Oh, yeah.
And you're a completely different kind of magic man, so... yeah, I can't. Cannot. I think the only way you could is if you had a, like, race-based invisibility.
So what is the,
anyway.
what is the plan then?
I think we should stop by the tree and give them the information that we know. And if they refuse our help, then that's what it is. But at least we'll have warned them. We could also try to get information about what this key is that the cult is after, so that if it does get taken, we can maybe hunt it down.
What does Anna know about centaurs in general?
They're horse people.
Yeah, like, is there anything that I would know that would help?
So I mean, I think
talking to them.
I think I told you guys all that you would all know basically the basics, which is that they used to live here on the island, all over the island, and then they left a couple hundred years ago, and haven't come back really, except for a couple groups or isolated wanderers who have come back. But no tribes have moved back onto Alderland. Other than that, you know, you don't know too much about them necessarily.
Darwin, this is your homelands. Is there any reason that multiple groups of centaurs would be coming back now? Any sort of old tales?
He kind of looks at you and like shakes his head. He's like, I don't know much about the centaur specific legends in these parts. Well, in general, I guess he would say. He's like, I don't know much about centaur-specific legends. Most of the legends I know are related to my people. It's been a couple hundred years since they lived here in relative peace alongside us. So...
trying to think about how long halflings can live.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like for halflings, it's probably not even that old of knowledge.
No, not too old.
Yeah, let's see.
A couple generations.
See, mature at 20, generally live to the middle of their 2nd century.
Yeah.
So there's actually halflings that would be like, yeah, I remember that.
No, it was more like 300 years ago. They just say a couple centuries. But it was like 300 years ago, really. Maybe like the last groups left like 200, 250 years ago, but it's at least a generation out for halflings, but still, it is not that old, you know.
All right. Well, I guess we can insist. I don't think the tree man will kill us outright.
I'd like to see him try, but yeah, we can at least warn them one last time.
The princess would ask you guys what you're like. She's like she would want to be filled in on what's going on with the centaurs. I'm assuming you would have told her.
Great question, because we don't know.
We do know that they presumably have been storing powerful artifacts here for a very long time before the people left here. And the cult, which I'm assuming we also filled her in on along the way since that's the reason we abducted her, are interested in these artifacts. Last time we went to a temple, we found some very interesting things, including shield, might stone.
So she'll,
what else was in that room? I can't remember. There was like 3 things, right?
It was the shield, might stone, and then like one of the skull pieces.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So yeah, I can explain like the gravity of what we found in the last temple that the cult was interested in, and what could be there.
And she would ask you like if you really thought it was good that she go with you.
She would ask what?
If she thought it was a good idea for her to go with you guys in there.
Oh.
Do you fear for your safety there?
You know that I am, as far as I know, the last living member of my line. The Duke of Norland is a cousin of my father, but he's not of our family. It was my father's aunt that begot Baldry of Norland. patrilineally speaking, I am the last living descendant of the Alders of the Isle. The line of Alder. And then she would say like great, I don't even know how many it would be, probably great, quite a few great. She would just say, many, like several generations ago, my ancestor was the king who basically pushed she would say, my ancestors were the ones who pushed the centaurs from the island. They probably would not take too kindly to see one of their descendants of the Alders.
If you don't tell them who you are, they should have no reason to know.
Last time...
Just about to say that.
That is true.
They only let one of us in last time anyway.
That was
this
me,
one in particular.
unarmed.
This is true.
Besides, we're not here to threaten them. Let's try to help.
To be honest, I believe Miles could probably find his way through the woods himself. We could probably stay a little further away this time, as to not to aggravate the treant. Assuming you're fine going in. Talking to Miles.
I don't see why I wouldn't be.
In the morning, though, probably, looking at the fact that it's probably pretty dark out since it was evening.
I see in
Before we start
darkness as if
talking.
it were bright light. Like,
But would they enjoy you going to visit them at night?
I have
I don't
no
think-
idea.
I don't think
I'd
centaurs are
prefer to
nocturnal.
sleep first.
Yeah. So his plan is to sleep and then go door to door in the morning?
That sounds good to me.
Okay, give me a second here. Give me a second. I just have to look at something real quick. So what's the plan then? Wake up and then go in?
Yeah, hut it up for the night, and in the morning, Miles will travel. We'll all get decently close, but he'll be the only one that traverses the weird woods and talks to the tree and asks to try and convince them again. I'm assuming we're sending him with all the letters and whatever evidence we have of the cultists being interested in them.
Okay.
So we do have a letter that references specifically where they are. Again, we had another one. We had one before.
Okay.
They didn't take that as to mean anything.
Okay. Sounds good. In that case, sorry, I was looking at my notes. So wait, so who's going to be the one representative this time going into the
Miles.
glade? Okay, Miles again. Okay, sounds good. So in the morning, yeah, you guys go to this area where I had sort of described it as there's a wall of trees. The trees are literally sort of structured in a way that it kind of hems in this glade where this rock outcropping is, and the cave or whatever shrine is underneath this large rock outcropping that juts into the sky hundreds of feet. And so so when you get to the edge of this wall of trees, this natural barrier, then Miles can go off on his own.
Yeah, and I'd give him a hit on bardic inspiration as well as enhance ability for charisma checks.
Okay.
The inspiration lasts 10 minutes, and the enhance ability will last an hour unless I get smacked and lose concentration.
Right.
Okay.
So yeah, you managed to, with both of those, you managed to so you I'm not gonna make you make a survival check to get in now because you guys already know where it is. It's just finding it the first time that was more of an issue. So you make it in, no problem. And after walking for less than 30 seconds, you see the same area where this tree ant had been. And when you enter, then you actually see one of the trees. It's in a different place now, but it starts to move, and you recognize that it looks to be the same one from the way its face is as it peers down at you.
Hello?
Hello there, human. Why have you arrived again?
Alright, out of character, I can't even remember why. We were gonna
Alright.
tell him.
We have information that the cult is still planning to attack the shrine to take a key from them, and we wanted to offer our support. And then if they refused, we wanted to at least have an idea, or try to get an idea, of what this key is, so that if it is taken, we can maybe try and hunt it down.
Yeah, alright.
Yeah, you got an extra letter saying they're going after
Yeah.
him and all
Mhm.
that.
All that information was from the letter.
My companions and I have recently uncovered that the cult I mentioned when we were last here are still intending to steal from this shrine, more specifically to steal a key.
Our friends are strong. They do not need assistance from humans.
We wish only to lend our support, and should the unfortunate thing happen and the key is stolen, my companions and I would like to know where it is so we may,
Or what it is.
what it is, should the need arise that we take precautionary actions.
I told you the other day, more have arrived.
Yes.
We were told that if you came back, that you should be allowed in to speak to them, and your companions too. They're not afraid.
Keep in mind, Princess Girl has a sending stone if you do want to contact us.
Yeah.
So the tree, it's like, you may pass through, but I don't think that I don't know how fruitful your endeavors will be.
So you said they would allow my friends through as well, correct?
Yes.
Could I contact them and tell them as much?
It just, like, shakes, or nods, rather, yes.
I am going to contact the princess and tell her as much.
Okay. Yeah, and she'll tell the group. She'll be like, Miles has informed me that we are allowed to enter. Or go to the
Interesting.
entrance.
Alright. We should be careful, but this is hopeful.
We'll see where it goes, but
And remember, you are not the princess. In fact, what is your last name?
You ask her like what her actual last name is.
No, not your married name or your maiden name. What is your last name for now? Tell us now.
She'll be like, what about if I just call myself? Hold on, let me look at the map.
The map.
Lyria of Lanceport.
She opens the map of the country and
No, she would know this. She'd be like, what about Lyria of Lanceport? It's a small town near the capital. But if I say I'm from there, it would explain, both my, I don't know, I guess my accent or demeanor being near the capital and not acting like those around here. But it also hopefully wouldn't give away too much.
Very well.
Good.
Everyone remember that in case they
Yeah, Lyria of Lanceport.
question it. Alright. I
Mhm.
guess we'll go in unless somebody
yeah.
doesn't want
Mhm.
to.
Oh,
Yeah, and you quickly catch up to Miles, who I'm assuming waited in that glade with the tree ant.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's like decently quick to get through.
Yeah, oh yeah.
As long as you aren't confused.
Mm-hmm. And so, you see Miles and you see the tree ant sitting here. The princess seems quite surprised by this. She's obviously never seen anything like this before. But the tree ant is just sitting there and kind of nods to you all in acknowledgement. And Miles, you see the group.
Alright. So, Treant, is the leaving our weapons here still necessary, or can we keep them on us?
As I said, my friends are not afraid of you.
Very well.
don't plan on using them, for the record. Just don't want to bother with relieving myself of them.
And the trainer just kind of goes like, and this kind of goes and like sits in his place where he had been motionless before.
Alright, let's go past.
Alright.
Lead the way.
So it's like 2 minutes.
I'll lead you the
walk.
way, because I know where to go.
Yep, it's just a walk through the treed area here until you come on the big meadow that leads around it. There's a 200 feet or so of meadow on every side of this rock outcropping, which is pretty big again. As I said, it towers like 100, 200 or more feet into the air. It's just like a large rock. It looks as if an obelisk has just set down here, but extremely large one. And at the base of it, there is like a little like cave entrance that you guys can see as you enter the meadow from a couple hundred feet away. It's pretty flat. However, you actually see there's a fire going in front of the entrance to the cave. And beyond that, so Miles, do you remember how many centaurs there had been?
A lot. I don't remember the exact number.
There were only 6, or
Were there?
7 actually. 6.
You would describe them surrounding him.
Yes.
I know that much.
There were 6 of them, or there were 6 that had no armor or anything, just like pikes, and there was one that actually had armor on, some chainmail, and a sword, as well as a pike and a bow. But there is now when you arrive, you see 12 of them.
All right.
They have 2 of them on watch actually. And you guys, unless you try to hide, you will be instantly spotted. But
try to hide.
Okay. And two of the centaurs do have armor on. The others just are naked and have they have just like either a pike or a longbow on each of their at each of their sides. But most of them are laying down or like sitting around. However, the moment that they spot you, which won't take but a couple seconds after you enter the meadow with your big group, then they immediately all start standing and readying their weapons.
I'm just gonna hold up my hands.
Okay. And so they will ride out to meet you guys in like the middle of this meadow. And they don't like surround you guys this time, actually, like they had done to Maz in the past, but they kind of like get in a line. And the 2 armored ones sort of come forward, and one of them, the one that you don't recognize, you had met the other one before, Miles, but this new one, he calls out and he says, in common, or Aldish rather, but not the best Aldish ever, he says, halt.
I halt.
Yeah.
And he says, excuse me.
You are excused.
I had heard that your group came through here to this glade, this sacred glade, another time, and now you return. Why?
We have reason to believe that a cult is seeking to disturb the shrine more than we are already, and take what lies within.
And why is this your concern?
Because this cult is our enemy. And although, based on your demeanor, I would not be as quick to say that the enemy of our enemy is our friend in this case.
We are friends with no humans here.
Yes, that's quite apparent. However, these people are tenacious and well-connected.
And they consort with both demons and gods.
You may be capable warriors, but they have a lot of tricks up their sleeve. I do not know what it is they want from your glade here. We have seen it only referred to as a key in their letters.
They know of the key?
I rummage through my bag and give him the letter.
Yeah, he'll reach down and grab it from you and look at it.
And assume he can read it, I guess.
Yeah. He can actually.
Or if you know a language.
Yeah. But I mean, for
If you know a
NPCs,
language,
that
you
doesn't.
know a
That's
language.
not. But this guy can read it. He takes it and he looks at it and he's like, this is interesting. One would have to research our people and know our people in a way to be able to know this aspect of our shrine here, our sacred shrine.
As I told you, they are welcome.
They have sought out other holy places to pillage the artifacts from them. Yours will be no exception.
This artifact is one that we intend to reclaim. We are our my fellow warrior here, and one of the great warriors of our tribe, and he motions to the other armored one. He led our scouting force that you had met before to establish a camp here. I bring the second group, and more follow behind us, including our shaman, shaman, whatever, however you say it. Our shaman, who will arrive within the next couple of days. Our shaman will secure the artifact for us, and we will leave to the next. And it kind of says
how long will this take?
it takes but someone who is of the proper training, like our shamans are, to enter.
And what is... You said you would move on to the next. What does that mean?
We have reasons to stay here in the kingdom. I will tell you. And I actually, I want you guys, if you care, to roll me an insight check. It's actually not going to be about him, but it's going to be about his other companion. So I want to see if you guys can kind of pick up on what's going on here. Okay. Okay. So Nox can kind of tell, glancing over at the other armored guy, that he doesn't really... It seems like this other guy, this other centaur, who is a little bit older than this one who's speaking. The older centaur who had been here longer, he kind of seems like... It definitely seems like he's upset by what his friend is saying. Like he doesn't like the fact that this information is being shared or something. And so, okay, so the guy continues. He's like, "We have our business on the isle."
You be that as it may, you are, well, to put it bluntly, you are no longer the people. This is no longer your home. And if you wish to be here peacefully, you would be well advised to share your intentions with those of us who do live here.
When you said this is no longer your home, quite a few of the other centaurs are very clearly, their feathers are ruffled by this. Like, visibly, they kind of, like, scowl.
So they're winged.
No.
Shut the fuck up.
So they're like
They're...
half human, half Pegasus.
No. So... No, so but no, they very clearly, a couple of them are very upset by this. The one who's speaking doesn't seem too bothered, but he's like, the one next to him, his companion, does. But he kind of just looks at you evenly. He's like, we owe you no information. This is our land as much as it is yours. And if I were not...
You say that, but consider if you were in a land and a bunch of people arrived on boats and snuck off into your woods and claimed it was their home.
The woods here are not ruled by any human or halfling. And the halflings, even we have gotten along well enough with them in the past, but even they have looked down upon us in many cases. And in any case, though, neither the humans nor the halflings rule this stretch of woods, nor many other in the kingdom that still remain.